The Catholic education has really instilled my sense of giving to other people.
The values that I've learned at RCS will continue with me through the rest of my life.
The Catholic school system holds together the human person as is, as God intended, and just lets everything flourish.
The world around us is pulling everybody in lots of different directions, most of them away from God. In the high school environment, you're in that growth phase where you're trying to find your identity. It's very important to make sure we have the right examples, the right loving, caring, God-like environment to grow and develop in.
The idea of all Catholics, of all Christians, is trying to become Christ as much as possible. We're all called to holiness. I was excited to go to Mass when I was a kid, but it was more because of the social aspect of it. In second grade, I wanted to be a policeman, or actually a priest. The Catholic school environment was just a really good way to get to know the Lord on a daily basis. In high school, my group of friends were bandies and Boy Scouts. My sophomore year of high school was really crucial for the Lord to use. Father Fastnut and Father Hall were both there. At Lourdes teaching, taking religion class to a different level. We went to a Teens Encounter Christ. There, Father Life was asking my buddy, are you thinking about the priesthood? And John, no, I'm not, but he is. Father Life was just great. He just goes, oh, that's good. Keep praying about that. And that kind of intrigued me a little bit more. It wasn't like, here's the paperwork, here's everything.
Somebody told me, did you know that your son wants to be a priest? I'm like, he does? He was a sophomore in high school, I think. And that actually, for me, at that age, then it's significant than in second grade when you write it on a piece of paper.
I do think that once he started saying that he was interested, we'd have some discussion that would say he's very pastoral in nature.
Brian has always been somebody that beats his own drum. He is his own person.
One chooses the path less traveled.
When it got time for him to apply to school, he didn't want to apply anywhere else. He simply wanted to apply to seminary.
It was the second I walked in the door, the Lord just poured His grace out and I was like, this is more home than home. Like, this just feels right. While in seminary, you discern, is God calling me to this? And then after that, you're like, okay, God is calling me to this. Now I have to say yes or no to it. He's gonna love me either way.
Watching him grow in fraternity with the other seminarians, is a big blessing.
They're really all really good young men. They really are. And you can see their earnest desire to learn more about Christ and grow in their faith.
I love my brothers. They're human, they're down to earth, they love their people, and are free to be the priests that they are and growing in holiness and virtue.
We're fortunate enough our children went through all 16 years of Catholic education.
As a parent, it's always exciting when your children accept the faith that you've got, and all three of our children have. One of them joining the priesthood, but the other two as well. Catholic education helps form the values. It's not only the academics, because that's important, but it's also that God-loving, value-based environment. We're excited about the diaconate coming up this June, and God willing, his ordination next year as a full priest. I think it's a blessing. It's a blessing on him, it's a blessing on us.
It tugs at my heartstrings. But I trust that he's doing what he's called to do, just like my other kids.
Catholic education, it's probably one of the biggest things that made me open to the vocation. The Catholic school system holds together the human person as is, as God intended, and just lets everything flourish. The mission of the church is to facilitate the next generation into learning. It needs to be a priority to educate the kids, because if we don't pass on the faith, nobody else will.
was the summer of 2014. It was just an ordinary Sunday. My family and I were going to church, and Father Jerry was a visiting priest that day. And he said, "My people are hungry, and they need help, they need hope." That's when it really touched me, and I knew that something needed to be done.
The reservation is around Red Lake. There's almost 12,000 enrolled members. 6,000 of them live on the reservation. It's the Ojibwe culture. There's a natural sense of reverence, sacredness. The culture is awesome. The poverty is the hell. You have to separate the culture from the poverty. There is over 65% poverty. Unemployment is equal that, and it's generational poverty. So few have graduated from high school even. In the middle of the night, you have a grandma getting 5 grandkids. Unexpected. No food, no diapers. If they come out of a meth house, they can't even bring their toys. My people die at the age of 45 usually, and you have 3 to 4 funerals a week sometimes. The struggles these kids face are serious. People need to know that there are places like this in their backyard where the poverty is sinful.
I emailed Father Jerry, and I asked him, what would you like us to collect? What can we do to help? And he said, food and dry goods. To include the whole RCS system, 2,000 paper bags handed out to every single person, students, faculty, staff. The first year, I knew we got around 2,000 pounds. Second year, around 2,000.
I think the most important thing was bringing Lourdes students to the mission, because then it really puts light to the situation. It really became real when I came up here. It was really evident the need here.
I think there is the need of the heart. It not only impacts the students at St. Mary's Mission School in Red Lake Indian Reservation, but also the students of RCS. There's something about these kids. You see them and your soul is lifted up. The smiles when they are going through so much pain, it's really a sign of strength and a sign of beauty.
I really see God's presence in all the smiles of the kids. They really showed love to us, and because we showed it to them.
Each of them is a saint in the making, just like the rest of us. Empathy is one of the biggest things of the mission trip. Not just looking from a distance, but being present, showing the kids that you love them. That's all that they want. It's all about love.
We think we're changing their lives, but in all reality, they're changing ours.
The kids, they had that initiative themselves to do this, and that's what inspired me. Talk about kids having moral purpose.
Madeline just said,
My hope for these kids is that they'll see that life can get better, that they can be loved. Everything that St. Mary's Mission School is doing is very powerful. I was so scared to start this project, but somebody once told me that the most important thing you should do in your life is to take the decisions that scare you the most, because those will help you grow. I think that with the values that RCS instills of shared faith, service, empathy, and love, that there's no way this program can't grow. The Red Lake Food Drive and the mission trip have changed my life forever.
The Catholic education has really instilled my sense of giving to other people. And I think that service to others is the most important way to be able to profess your faith.
Catholic education is something that really you cannot put a price on. And the values that I've learned at RCS will continue with me through the rest of my life.